Bangladesh missions in Dhaka, in Delhi and Kolkata to protest against the brutal killing. Amid this unrest, Bangladesh is bracing for the homecoming of Bangladesh Nationalist Party's de facto chief Tariq Rahman, the elder son of former Prime Minister Khalida Zia. Rahman, who is in all probability going to be the party's PM face in the upcoming election. He had left Bangladesh in 2008 and is settled in London. And accused in a slew of cases, including corruption and graft, Tariq Rahman was arrested by a military-backed caretaker government in 2007 and has spent 18 months in jail before leaving the country. Most of the cases against him have since been quashed. Let me now go across to our guest this evening. KC Singh, former Indian ambassador, is joining us. Ambassador Singh, thank you very much for joining us. How would you describe the current state of ties between India and Bangladesh? Is it set to worsen in the next few weeks? We've not seen the kind of protest we're seeing outside the Bangladesh High Commission in Delhi and the kind of anti-India protest we've seen in Bangladesh.
Well, I think India has shown restraint so far, and I think what BHP did outside the Bangladesh High Commission could be avoided. Because what is the message we are sending? Tomorrow, if a Muslim is lynched in India, would you have Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, entire Islamic world protest outside Indian embassies? That has not happened. He was not an Indian national, to the best of my knowledge. You can call in the High Commissioner, you can convey this thing, but BHP turning it into a public issue and creating chaos, you are playing into the hands of the Bangladeshis. That's exactly what they are wanting. They are doing it, and we start doing it, and they justify it, and they have by stopping the visa services. The situation is not likely to get any better because Sheikh Hasina is in India. We are not about to hand her over. She's been sentenced to death. Elections are supposed to be in February, but Awami League may not be allowed to contest. So it'll be something that Sheikh Hasina did because the election that she had, BNP, that is Khalida Zia's party, had boycotted it. She still held the election. Now, here is a lesson for us. You see, when we sit contented in Delhi, thinking we have an ally who can keep doing what he or she wants in a neighboring country, as long as a counterterrorism, going after the extreme right suits us, then you play in. Then when that person is overthrown, and it's happened time and again to Americans, it happened in Iran. If you keep backing a regime, and then that regime is overthrown by popular protests, then you will pay the political consequences. And that is what is happening today. So India is waiting it out. That's the only card that we can play at the moment. But at the same time, there is pressure that you can exert because jobs haven't come back. Bangladesh economy is hurt by the US duties, and garment export was one of their major exports. Jobs have not been available. So there's economic chaos.
Ambassador KC Singh, when it comes to the general election in February, Mohammad Yunus has said that he is committed to ensuring free and fair elections on the 12th of February 2026 in Bangladesh. What's the state of play? Who do you think is the dominant power ahead of this February election?
See, the lesson that we learn after Arab Spring in Islamic countries is, like in Egypt, when you overthrow an autocrat, then it is the right wing that always better organized, which survives better the autocrat's persecution. And that is why Jamaat-e-Islami, with the support of Pakistan, has been asserting itself. That is the one which is feeding. Probably when the students' protests were there, it was there from pushing it from behind the scenes. But the students did form a separate party, National Citizens Party, NCP. Now, we don't know if it's going to be a three-way fight. Awami League won't be in it. But you have the party, the BNP, and you have Jamaat-e-Islami, and you have the NCP, the Students' Party. Now, students, how much popular support they have will get tested unless they do an alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami or with one of the other parties or maybe with BNP. So we are seeing a new reorientation of political parties in Bangladesh. But out of them, well, BNP will probably be better for us than Jamaat-e-Islami, but they have had an alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami in the past. So it's possible after the election, they again enter into an alliance. And Pakistan is just happily watching it and trying to roll the script back and make history we've forgotten in Bangladesh that India got them liberated in 1971.
Right. Do you feel India is now losing ground in Bangladesh? Are these signs that we're picking up from the ground good for India's neighborhood ties? Can India do anything? Do we have certain options to salvage the situation, keeping in mind the close linkages we have with Bangladesh, both politically and economically?
Look, at the moment, I think we're just sitting back and watching. We'll have to wait and see what kind of an election is held, because Muhammad Yunus has not shown that he is fully in charge or he's calling the shots. And being an interim government, he couldn't really make any policy changes or reach out. In the meanwhile, you had President Trump come in. You've got those other challenges for the Bangladeshi economy. Chinese would be watching very closely. So we have to wait until an election is held. And hopefully some kind of a stable government emerges. If it doesn't, there's always the military, which has played a role in Bangladesh before. You don't want the military to come in again. But whoever is in charge, then we talk to that government, because that government can claim a mandate. The current interim government doesn't have a mandate. It's only a transitional arrangement.
All right. And if I were to speak about certain external factors at play in Bangladesh, while India would want to continue having a very strong stake in peaceful relations with Bangladesh, you've got US, which has interest there. You've got China. You've got Pakistan. Do you think any of these three external forces are somehow having an influence on the current developments?
See, considering Pakistan drawing closer to US, we don't know what is the US game. They played that game before 1971. And with President Trump, you don't know. He may be quite happy to go along with Pakistan if they say, look, they'll open the economy, they'll let your companies come in, we'll keep the Chinese, in one corner. What is the game that emerges? We don't know. The American game is now so uncertain and so unpredictable. I think we have to play our own game. I don't think we can count on anyone in the neighborhood and see how we can safeguard, bring stability, and make sure the next government does not adopt an anti-India posture or start giving shelter to terrorists or militants or militant Islam, because it's got such a long boundary with India and with sensitive states. We've got elections coming up in Assam. And there, the way BJP has its politics, Bangladesh is used as a word for garnering votes and bringing people together. Unfortunately, the more you do that, the worse it gets for Bangladesh-India relations.
All right. Thank you very much, Ambassador K.C. Singh, for joining us to speak about the difficulties in ties between India and Bangladesh right now. And as you said, India will just be waiting and watching till a new government comes into place in Bangladesh in February, and we would like to take it from there. Time for a short break here on Newscentre, but don't go anywhere. We put the spotlight on the India-US trade deal talks. On the other side, we will be speaking to Ajay Sahai of FIO and Arpita Mukherjee of ICRIER on the other side.